Well, it's Saturday the 19th of February. This is episode 2207 of 301 Permanently Moved to Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded and edited by me, at the JMO. A post called Google Search is Dying travelled around my little corner of the internet this week, link in the show notes. The post was updated with links to the discussion referencing it happening all around the web, Hacker News, Reddit, etc. At the time of writing, the post has 7 appendices and 6 updates that even include responses from Google themselves. The TLDR is that Google Search didn't used to be bad, but has gotten progressively worse. A screenshot shows the search retool / integration with an entire screen of ads in the results. The post explains how Google is now extracting more and more revenue from its core business model to the detriment of its utility. The post goes deep on how advertising brings about misaligned incentives for search engines. It even quotes Brin and Page speaking in 1998. Advertising income, they said, often provides an incentive to provide poor quality search results. I've noticed a degradation in the usefulness of Google search results too. I switched to Ecosia as my search engine of choice during 2020 and haven't looked back. I also fully migrated away from Chrome last year to use Brave browser exclusively. The main outcome of Search's dying discourse has been to broaden the discussion out to the wider web, with many concluding that it has become too inauthentic to trust. For example, contrast search engine optimized tech websites with reviews of the same laptops from people who actually own the laptop on Reddit. Reddit, it seems, has become one of the fastest growing search engine destinations on the web. Why? Because reviews on Reddit are mostly authentic, because its content is mostly made up by real people, moderated mostly by real people, and, for better or worse, represents the opinions of mostly real people too. The wider web is awash with SEO'd low-quality clickbait, content farms that make it impossible to find anything or trust it when you do find something. Phone and product reviews exist in a shit-swallowing feedback loop of influencer marketing. I'm sure we've all come across aspects of this elsewhere, not just laptop reviews, but with, well, everything. Fake Amazon reviews, fake hotel reviews on TripAdvisor, thousands of words of bonkers personal anecdote before a recipe, bot armies posting hashtag spam, YouTube comments. The list goes on and on. TikTok and the introduction of short-form video formats everywhere has become a festering wound on the cultural psyche, taking the 15-second audition pioneered by the X Factor to the peak of cultural importance. Content farms are out of control. Advertising, pop-ups, requests for cookies and permissions are all out of control too. The web has become an unnavigable ocean of questionable bullshit. I'm 100% on board with Search's dying's idea of the inauthentic internet. Obvious, since the JTRIG Art of Deception presentation dropped as part of the Snowden files. 8 years on, we have the recent news that Netflix is hiring Condé Nast and Time Inc. journalists to build a quote-unquote fandom engine. The press release and the articles all read as excitable puff pieces about the creation of a corporate PSYOP division. Synthetic fandoms, or perhaps fandoturfing, is something I'd like to talk about in more detail in future. It's also not too hard to believe that the majority of social media's trending tags are just the flotsam thrown up by the churning sea of automated PSYOPs and counter-PSYOPs. Nation states, oil companies, and now even media companies. Everyone's at it. How many reply guys on the internet are even real? Which brings me to dead internet theory, the conspiracy theory that the whole internet is fake. Writing on the subject in 2021 for The Atlantic, Caitlin Tiffany observed, dead internet theory suggests that the internet has been almost entirely taken over by artificial intelligence. The internet died in 2016 or early 2017 and is now empty and devoid of people. Much of the supposedly human-produced content you see online was actually created using AI, propagated by bots, possibly aided by a group of influencers on the payroll of various corporations and in cahoots with the government. Now, I don't know about you, but this sort of stuff is like crack to me. It captures the very real and observable phenomenon we've already touched on. It's ironic that boomers spent most of the late 90s and early aughts telling kids not to believe everything they read on the internet. Now, in the 2020s, the situation is entirely reversed. The internet has always been full of grift and spam, only now the ocean is much wider and much deeper. The inauthentic internet is a real problem. It's why I advocate that everyone get off algorithmically mediated platforms, start a blog or a newsletter, and read stuff via RSS. I wrote in 2020 in my chapter for the Unsound Intermission book that our most urgent task moving forward is to practice and encourage discernment, the ability to judge well. because only the living can discern anything amidst the shamelessness of the dead internet.